Hello, hello, everyone. I hope y'all are all doing well today. I am going to let you guys know I am sick. So if my voice goes out or I hack in your ears, I am so sorry. Um, I've been trying to get over this cold for like a week now. So appreciate you guys all being here today. For those that don't know, my name is Alexis Hughes. I'm a North Carolina and South Carolina realtor. I rank top 3% in the Charlotte, North Carolina market. And I am also the founder of the Elite Collective Coaching Program, which is just me giving back. When I was a brand new agent, I didn't know what I didn't know. I didn't know what questions to ask. I didn't understand why certain things weren't working for me when they were working for other people. And so I decided I wanted to give back. And we do this every single Thursday, except for last week due to sickness, at 10:30 a.m. via Zoom. So if you find this helpful and want to join us, we're going to do different topics every single week. Some of them are just basic, real estate agent training. And then other times we'll do topics that are specific to what's happening in the real estate market here, now, today. It will always be recorded. I will upload the previous classes to my YouTube channel. So if you have to pop out or anything like that, you can always catch the rest of the class on the flip side. So today, what we are going to do is talk about lead generation versus brand awareness. What I found as a brand new agent is I was putting all the things out there, but I didn't understand the psychology behind what I was putting out there and what results I should expect. So in the first 2 years of me being licensed, you would hear me say things like, social media doesn't work for lead generation. No, brand awareness isn't working. And the reason why is I was putting stuff out there thinking I was lead generation or generating, when in reality, that was just making sure people knew about my brand. And then on the flip side, I was putting things out there for brand awareness, but I didn't know what to do with the leads. So we're going to jump in and we're going to talk about that. So brand awareness, lead generation, both very, very important. If you have ever taken my 5 daily habits of an icon agent training, you will know that we talk about marketing and we talk about lead generation. And they're two different things, right? So marketing is brand awareness. It's your listings, it's things like that, but it's brand awareness. Whereas lead generation is actively putting stuff out there to bring leads in or cold calling, whatever the case may be. So let's talk about some things that will get you brand awareness. So the very first thing I realized early on as a brand new agent is I like to vlog, right? And I was doing all the vlogs. Now, granted, I didn't write them for myself, right? Back then, I would find a blog I liked from Keeping Current Matters or something like that. And I would share it on social media and put it out there. And I'm like, oh, I'm doing this, I'm educating. But in reality, what I was doing is just sharing. And when people click that blog, it took them off of me and everything. So I learned a little bit. I was like, okay, let me copy and paste this, and I'm going to put it in my website blog, and I'm going to give them credit as the source, which was great. But I just put that blog on my website, and it just sat there and sat there and sat there and sat there. So I was letting the 5 people that maybe visited my website and checked out my blog some up know who I am, but I really wasn't doing anything great. Now you guys have it even better because we have this beautiful thing called Chat GPT now. So we can literally generate blog posts like that. You can give any topic and generate a blog post, but you don't want to stop there. You want to post that on social media. You want to have a graphic. If you're really adventurous, you want to do a video that is a little snippet, right? Like, curious about what the Charlotte market is doing, check out my blog, click the link below, right? Do something. Video always gets traction, way more than anything else. But you put that out there, and then you don't keep that to just your social media, yours. You want to share that. So you want to share it in the groups that you're part of locally. You want to share it with any of your database, right? So if you've got a CRM, you're wanting to put that out there. And here's the key with this. It's got to be consistent. Brand awareness is typically about making yourself be known as the authority in real estate in your local market. It is making sure that when people think real estate, they think you. An example of this is when I do the blogs, I'm sharing them to these groups. Is it getting me leads right away? No, it's not. But what does happen is a couple of examples. When I'm going to call him Bob Smith in What's Up Waxhaw, which is a local Facebook group I'm part of, decided he was going to sell. He messaged me and he said, "Hey, Alexis, I noticed that you're constantly putting stuff out there about real estate. You seem to know the Waxhaw market very well. I'd love for you to come and list my house." That's one example. When I did a blog post about facing foreclosure and shared it to all the groups, another seller reached out and said, "Hey, we're actually in this situation now. You seem to know what you're doing. Can you please come and list our home?" Another listing, next door. Don't sleep on next door, guys. Go to next door. But because I put those blog posts out educating people, I had a seller reach out to me and said, "Hey, Alexis, I've been watching you over the years on Nextdoor. You seem really, really informed." They reached out to me to list their home. These are all in 1 year, but these people have been seeing me consistently give information. That's brand awareness right there. Another thing is consistency in your brand, right? So if you're on TikTok as Alexis Hughes Realtor, but you're on Instagram as Alexis L. Charlotte, and then you're on YouTube as My Charlotte Homes, there's no consistency in that brand. So what ends up happening is when someone searches you by the handle they know or something like that, they're getting confused. So make sure that your brand is consistent across all platforms. That's brand awareness as well. Next thing we're going to talk about is the fact that some people will see posting your closed or your under contract deals on social media as bragging. And I'm here to tell you, yeah, it's a little bit of a brag, but that is brand awareness because you can make yourself seem like you are educated in real estate, but you also need to show the audience some proof. Not only are you educated, but that education is getting your clients wins, i.e. under contract, making sure that they're getting to the closing table, everything like that. So share those wins, share them, and tell the stories behind them. Don't just say, "Congrats to my sellers for going under contract," right? What is going to make you stand out? What about your brand helped them go under contract? What's special about them going under contract? So an example, my investor client just went under contract last night. And that house had been on the market for 150 days. My investor strategy is to list high, sit, wait, right? That's their strategy. Until data gives them information that tells them to do otherwise, they're going to sit. So in my post, I said, sometimes the strategy is more important than the days on the market, especially in a market like this. So educating, telling a story, and making sure that the wider audience is seeing, oh, okay, this is what Alexis does for that. Or a recent listing I had, average days on the market was 45 days. It went under contract in 7, right? Okay, brand awareness here. This matters because marketing matters. Everything I do for my clients helps them get better results than the average agent in our market. It sounds like you're putting other agents down or anything like that, and that's not the case. You're talking about what you do that gets your clients results, and what you do is your brand. So making sure you're putting that out there. Now, on these posts, you're not going to share those to groups, right? Because the point in sharing information to groups is to get people to know your brand, follow your brand, like your brand. If they're following you, then the next step is them consistently seeing your results from all the education that you have, all the knowledge that you have. And that's the little cycle that it goes through, right? So that's the big thing on brand awareness. Make sure you're doing that. Don't forget to be yourself. Part of brand awareness is being who you are too. So sometimes I put out funny stuff and my humor may not be for everyone, right? I am a firm believer that your vibe attracts your tribe. I'm not here to be fake or anything. So I drop some curse words sometimes. It happens. I have a weird sense of humor, so I'm sharing that stuff, right? So make sure that you're being yourself and you're showing up authentically as well when it doesn't pertain to real estate. Because people are going to go and they're going to look. And if it's just real estate vomit with none of you mixed in, well, that's not staying true to your brand. And on that note, I recommend having a brand that fits who you are as a person. if you are naturally funny and goofy and all this stuff, but what you're putting out there is super duper serious and very professional, no ifs, ands, or buts, it looks like it's fake. And in today's world, authenticity is getting more results than the fake polished realtor. If you drive a Toyota Camry, stop doing Ferraris in your photo shoots. If I'm going to give you my example, if I do updated headshots or lifestyle photos, right? And I've done this before, and I bring hair, makeup, multiple outfit changes. I'm uncomfortable the whole time I'm there, and that photo shoot takes me 8 hours, right? And I don't do it again for 5 years. Guess what? I'm being really, really, really fake, and what I'm putting out there in terms of what I look like in those photos is nothing like who I actually am. So be authentic in who you are. If you're like me, I am a ball cap and a t-shirt. A lot of my videos and what I put out there is me in a ball cap and me in a t-shirt. If everything I put out has me in a suit and the first time this client meets me, I'm not like that, they're going to be like, hey, you're not who you look like online. You're not who you portrayed yourself to be. So definitely make sure that you're doing that. Brand awareness, typically, you're not going to spend money on. Typically. Notice I said that. The point in brand awareness is to build authority over time, to build trust over time. So that's what equity sharing it to groups is great. When you boost a post that is centered around brand awareness, yes, you're going to get in people's feeds, but without a retargeting campaign, you're not going to stay in those people's feeds. They're not going to remember you from Adam, and you're going to get all these views, and you're like, these are going nowhere, right? I think I did one years back, and it had like 4,000 views, but only 2 people followed me from that. And I think I spent like $500 on it. Those 2 people, I probably don't ever pop up in their feed anymore. So typically with brand awareness, I'm not spending money on ads for brand awareness. The one time I will is free market reports. Those are building my database and they're doing brand awareness. But I spend money because there's a clickable link. They give me their information. They come into my database so that I can continue reaching them. I'm building my database that way. That is not lead generation. So when someone clicks something like that, like free market report or check out my blog or something like that, and comes into your CRM, the last thing you want to do is call them. Hey, are you ready to buy and sell a house? They didn't give you their information intending to be a lead. They gave you your information because you promised them something in return that even someone not buying right now would want. I want to stay on top of the real estate market. I clicked for a free monthly market report. I did not click for you to spam me. So make sure that you're keeping that in mind. So we're going to flip now to lead generation. Lead generation is buy and now. And let me say this, brand awareness is important. That is what's building your long-term database. That's why realtors that have been in business 10 years can say, no, I work Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, this and that, because they've built this database of people through brand awareness that like, know, love, trust them, want to work with them. That's all they want to do. So lead generation. Right now, buyers, right? And they are ranked in different forms. So you have A leads, B leads, C leads. Your A leads, they're ready to go in the next 3 months, next 90 days. Your C leads, they're typically, 6 to 12 months out, or your B leads. And then your C leads are 12 months or more. So sometimes when you're doing brand awareness, you're going to get people that come in that could be a lead in the future. They're not a right now lead. And that is where you're focusing on. So when we're talking about nurture and follow up, because part of those 5 daily habits is your follow up, you should be following up every single day and not just with the hot leads and the right now leads. You need to be touching everybody. So with your A leads, what's that look like? A leads, I am going to be actively sending them properties that meet their criteria. I'm going to be sending, if they're a listing lead, I'm going to be sending them my tips for getting your home ready for market. I'm going to be sending them all kinds of stuff, following up with them, trying to lock down the appointment, right? The buyer consult or the seller consult. Your B leads are a little further out. So we're going to be following up with them, not as aggressively, mind you, but little things, hey, just touching base. wanted to let you know that the rates took a dip. Let me know if you have any questions. Hey, I'm teaching a class to first-time home buyers. Would you like to join? Hey, thought you might find this video interesting. Hey, I know you're 6 months out from selling, but this house just closed and this is what it does for your equity, right? You're staying in touch with them. That's part of follow-up. Your C leads, 12 months and out, are the ones that came from brand awareness typically. And they're the ones that you're going to want to continue sending things, newsletters, invite them to client appreciation events, happy birthdays, happy holidays, 4th of July's here, things like that. You need to be touching all of them, but that's where the psychology comes into play. Because we know this, most leads are not going to respond until after 7 touches. And that's if they're ready right now. Like they're an A lead ready right now. It's going to take 7 touches to get them to actually respond to you. We know that the majority of agents stop after the first 1 or 2 tries. Be the agent that keeps going. Do not give up. This is why you have to do follow-up every single day. So those clients, we're going to continue touching them. Your B clients, you don't have to touch them as often. Your C clients, once a month. That's fine. What are we doing for lead generation? There are multiple things you can do, and I promise you I don't know the answers to all of them. But let's just talk about some ideas here and make sure that we're not giving away the milk for free, I guess, so to speak. Never used that analogy before in the real estate sense, but what's lead generation look like? That is when before you're going to give a little information to get them interested, and then you're going to direct them. You're going to give them a call to action. It could be call you, it could be learn more information, click this, do whatever. When they click, they're going to give you their information. And you're going to follow up with them. So if we're dealing with a listing, for instance, I'm going to put maybe 1 or 2 pictures of that listing. Good pictures, mind you. Please don't do cell phone pictures. And I'm going to say, wow, this beautiful 5,500 square foot home is perfect for multi-generational living. Want more information? Click the link. And then I'm going to put that out there. But here's where a lot of agents make the mistake when they put it on social media. They put it on their personal page, they put it on their business page, both sometimes, and only your followers are seeing that. So when you're doing lead generation, it is always a smart thing to invest money into getting that seen by other people, right? Not your followers. And it's great if you want sweat equity, if you don't have a lot of funds available, share it to a bunch of groups, right? But you want to get it away from your page. Otherwise, nobody's going to see it. The next thing is like giving all the information. You gave them no reason to click the link when you put all the photos, the price, everything out there. Don't do that. And so paying for that. Now, when you are boosting an ad like that in order to lead generate, you want to make sure that you're not just broadly doing it. Like, I don't need the whole United States to see this. Who I need to see it is our hyper-local market. So in the locations, I'm going to put the different counties of the house and the surrounding ones. On top of that, I am going to research what locations in the United States are most looking in my location. And so, sorry guys, I'm going to share this with you, my screen with you now. And I want to show you something that has been an invaluable tool for me. I always forget the link, and I've got it, so let me grab it real quick. Alrighty. So this is a really cool tool that not many people know about. And this is how I target market when I am lead generating. And I'll put this link in the chat box to see where else should I be putting ads for my listings, right? I want to lead generate. I want to capture those leads, but how? I don't know where people are coming from. There's no real rapport. I want to make sure all that's good. So Realtor.com has this nifty little feature where I can go and I can say, where is the county's housing demand coming from? So if I am in North Carolina and my listing is in Cabarrus County, I can see the majority of website traffic searching in Cabarrus County for homes in Cabarrus County comes from Mecklenburg County, Fulton County, Georgia, New York County, New York, Loudoun County, Virginia, Rowan County, Union County, Iredell, Wake, Cook, Guilford. So when I am doing this ad, I'm going to add these counties in because people are searching in those counties. If they are searching in those counties for Cabarrus County, something is making them think they want to move here or something like that. So put that in. The next thing you want to do is interest. So when you are boosting that property in interest, you can't be super tight on this, because what will happen is you will not give yourself enough of an audience to actually promote to. So I always put these two things on Facebook: realtor.com real estate, zillow.com real estate. And what that means is if a buyer in Loudoun County is on realtor.com or zillow.com, frequently my listing ad is going to pop up in their feed. They're going to click on it. So that's Facebook, that's paid. I put the link to the cross market reports here in the chat box. So grab that, save that, bookmark it. Really helpful there. Next thing with lead generation, open houses. Let's talk about that, because that is an A lead typically. Typically, if someone is visiting an open house, one of two things is in their mind. They're actively looking for a house right now, or they're seriously considering looking for a house right now. Not much of the population is just like, let's go visit an open house for fun, knowing we're not going to leave our house at all, right? Or they're neighbors, and you want to make a good impression on them because they might sell. They might be looking at this house saying, how does it shape up to mine? And it's listed at this. What would mine be listed for? So keep that in mind. Here's the number one mistake, because we're talking about the psychology behind it, that agents make with open houses. Number one mistake, you get them to sign in and then you never do anything with it. It doesn't go in a CRM. You might send them a call or text and thank them for coming, something like that. But that's as far as it goes. Remember 7 touches, right? And it shouldn't always be, oh, are you thinking of buying? Can I help you in any way? No, you need to give them something of value in that situation. So we're lead generating from an open house. We've got them to sign in. And now what we're going to do is follow up. Well, if they visited a 1-story, 3-bedroom, 2-bath house in Midland, North Carolina that was listed at $415, I'm going to follow up with them right after the open house. Me personally, I send a video message. Hey, Tom, thanks for visiting 127 Kingston Drive. It was really nice to meet you. If you have any questions, let me know. Next thing I do, within 24 hours, I'm getting them a list of all the homes that are similar in the area. I like that. And I'm going to send it to them. Hey, Tom, here's some other homes for consideration. I have some time in my schedule this week. Would you like me to grab you a video tour of any of these? Right? So I'm offering them something. I'm saying something different than other people. And then after that, you're going to put them on a market report, right? Every single month, market report, and you're going to follow up with them every single day. That is how you effectively follow up with open house leads. You can't just do one and done. You can't just get them to sign in and never do anything with it, and the paper gets crumpled in your car. You can't do that. The next thing is open houses don't work. Nobody comes, so on and so forth. Okay, open houses do work. Let me give you some psychology behind it. If you're inputting an open house into MLS, it takes 24 to 48 hours for that open house to populate to all the sites, right? Typically, if an open house, visiting open houses on someone's peripheral for the weekend or something like that, they're going to start looking Thursday after work. So what that means is if you're doing an open house by Tuesday, it should already be in MLS. You should already be promoting it, so on and so forth. And it has time to syndicate everything. That's first and foremost. If you don't have at least 48 hours to get it to syndicate to all the places, it's probably not going to be worth your time. Next thing is you want to reverse prospect. And I'm going to catch some shade for this. And I really don't care, because if you were doing what you're supposed to be doing as an agent, then I wouldn't be able to do this. In MLS, if you have a reverse prospect, and I'm going to show you what that looks like, list. That is agents that have clients that match the criteria of your home. So when you're doing an open house, you want to send these agents a message and say, I am hosting an open house. At this listing, you have a client in MLS that matches. Please send them out, right? If there's an agency agreement in place, there's no reason that those clients can't go see that listing. But you know what ends up happening is a lot of the people coming in that their agents sent them to the open house, without them, they don't have agency agreements. And guess what? Those can become your clients. If an agent's not doing what they're supposed to do and a client wants to work with me, you bet your sweet butt I'm going to work with them. And it, in my opinion, if you're sending your client to an open house without you being there and you have and you haven't got an agency agreement signed, shame on you. Shame. Get those agency agreements signed. So that's number 2, promoting the reverse prospecting. It also looks good for your sellers because look, I'm sending hundreds of emails, inviting people, so on and so forth. Third thing for open houses to have them work effectively is signs, and lots of signs. Signs. A lot of people are like, they'll put one sign at front of the neighborhood, one sign here, one sign here. No. At minimum, every open house should have 10 signs. And yes, you should have them in the neighborhood. You should have them on main roads. I'm hosting an open house Sunday. And guess what? 4 of my open house signs are going to go on the public right of way by the brand new construction community that backs up to where my house is. So I'm capturing that new construction traffic too. Follow-up sign-in, reverse prospecting, and then also making sure that you are putting out a ton of signage. That is how you have a true open house that has the best chances to get the most traffic to get you leads from it. You can take this a step further, and I recommend you do. Create an event on Facebook. Boost that event. Facebook algorithm will see, oh, what people on Facebook have clicked on similar events, i.e. open houses, real estate listings, so on and so forth in this area. Let's make sure they see this event as a recommended event they might like. So definitely do the events on Facebook too. So we talked paid Facebook leads. We've talked open houses. Let's talk a little bit about cold calling expireds. I will tell you guys this right now. I don't do this. I've done it maybe 3 times my whole career. So I'm not the expert on it, but I do know if you're going to do it, you need to practice your scripts. You need to practice objection handling. So a lot of people are like, well, where do you even get these? How do you get them? RedX is one. They give you lists. You can go just for sellbyowner.com. You can go on Zillow and look at the FSBOs there. Expired, you can research on Spokio. Some people say they utilize Forewarn to find phone numbers for expired owners. I don't think we're supposed to do that, so I'm not advocating for that. I'm just putting the information out there. So when you find their information through various outlets, and then you can call them, you can send them emails, whatever you feel like doing. But have a system, stick to it. But here's the number one thing. Work your scripts and work your objection handling. If I were going to go the route of lead generation, FSBOs, and expireds, the first thing I would do is I would search YouTube for live calls. So an agent that trains on this specific niche, doing live calls to FSBOs and expireds and listening to conversation over and over and over and how they're handling objections and what they're saying and how they're leading it in. Then I would have a fellow agent that wants to do this too in a different market. And I would say, let's meet once a week and let's be each other's FSBO or expired. And I'm going to give you objections and we're going to handle them. That is part of the education piece of the 5 daily habits I train on. You should be doing something every day that furthers your education. This is one of those things. All right. So 30 minutes, that's what I'm trying to keep these to for you guys because I know we're all busy and we have every day. So those are my main things about brand awareness versus lead generation, do's, don'ts, so on and so forth. If there are any questions, I will answer them now. And if there's not, we will hop off of here. You can get to your day. I will be releasing September's topics this week. I will be sure to email all of you guys what those topics are going to be in advance. I have some really cool stuff I think you guys are going to enjoy and learn on. So any questions, if you have them, you can raise your hand, drop them in the chat box, or open your mic. I think you guys are allowed to open your mic in a webinar. So, all right, guys, I don't see any, so I'm going to let you all go. I will see you next Thursday, 10:30 a.m. Be on the lookout in your inbox for what our September training calendar is going to look like. And yes, I do plan to have us some guests on. Those might go an hour, so just block out an hour for September. I hope you guys have a great day.